National was looking to throw a spanner in the works as the Prime Minister delivered her first big economic speech of the year, making public what it says are leaked details about major reforms coming for polytechs and institutes of technology. Jacinda Ardern's address was about reassuring business that the government was preparing New Zealand for a potential global economic slowdown, doubling down on securing new trade deals as part of the plan, along with far-reaching reforms for vocational training. But as Ms Ardern was flagging in an announcement this week, National's Simon Bridges was briefing reporters about the plan he says was information leaked to National from a concerned and unsettled sector. Our political editor Jane Patterson filed this report.
The elephant in the room, business confidence, had become a bit smaller, declared Ms Ardern as she laid out the government's agenda for the coming year. But it was a plan to overhaul polytechs and institutes of technology that was the most controversial. Ms Ardern said the government had already spent $100 million bailing out 4 polytechs.
We currently have a vocational education system that is in many cases struggling. Take the building sector, for example. We know we need more tradies, and yet they're just not coming through fast enough.
She said the government would release its plan for consultation next week and outline the problems facing the sector.
It is not well coordinated or integrated. It is not easy for business to engage with, and it delivers variable results across the country. We have a duplication of courses as well, and also a lack of consistency. Many of the institutes face an issue of scale and insufficient capital to grow and respond, and all of this is ultimately unsustainable.
Meanwhile, down at the National Party's caucus retreat in Hamilton, leader Simon Bridges was telling reporters sources from within the sector had leaked the plan, which would result in 4 regional hubs.
What the government is doing in relation to polytechnics next week is abolishing them all, moving to 4 hubs, effectively a nationalisation, a Venezuelan model when it comes to polytechnics. We also understand quite clearly that this means 1,000 fewer jobs.
All of which was put to the Prime Minister.
He is utterly incorrect. Our goal is to grow the sector, and I have to say we inherited a sector that had already experienced bailouts. No work that I can see was done by the previous government to address persistent problems.
Her Education Minister Chris Hipkins said the current structure was not sustainable.
If we don't do something, the regions are going to lose their polytechnics. They already are. The polytechs are already retrenching, they're already cutting courses, they're already laying off staff, and they have been for some time. In fact, I would venture to say that more people have been lost in terms of employees from the polytech sector over the last decade than the numbers that Simon Bridges is talking about at the moment.
He said speculation about job losses was irresponsible, and Mr Hipkins questioned the accuracy of the information being fed to National and then on to reporters.
Your intelligence about that is wrong. Whoever has been sharing that with you is wrong.
So no regional hubs?
You'll just have to wait until next week, but we will be announcing it.
A possible capital gains tax was another area the Prime Minister was looking to damp down, saying speculation ahead of the release of the tax working group was feverish. She said the government would consider the report before deciding on its final position, but she reiterated any tax changes would not affect the family home or the land beneath it. In Auckland for Checkpoint, Jane Patterson.